Hello, hello. How you
Good
doing?
morning.
How you doing? There we go. All right, now let's try again. Here we go. Okay. All right, off we go here. All right. So the first one says for many years. Sounds like present perfect, right?
Yes.
So what could we say? Two choices, right?
Yeah. Has been playing.
Have been playing or
Oh, had played.
have played.
Has played.
Have played, no problem. Both are good. Present perfect or present perfect continuous. Have been playing or have played. The next one says right now.
Present continuous.
Right now, good old present continuous, right? So should we say is or does?
Is.
Is, sure.
Is Peter talking.
And of course, we need ing on the other side. The next one is a question about yesterday. Sounds like simple past, right?
Yes.
So when
Did.
when did you get up, right? Ah, now the next one, a little bit tricky because the cat is the subject, not the person, right? The owner feeds the cat. So what do we say about the cat? The cat
Was fed.
Was fed, right? Simple past passive. Ever is the next one. What can we say there?
Has Bill ever worked?
Exactly. Has Bill ever worked in a restaurant? With ed. The next two, we already have a verb. We have I'm planning and Mike loves. So do we want gerunds or infinitives in these cases?
This is infinitive.
In the first case, infinitive, right? Planning to leave. And what about loves?
Watching.
Both are good, right?
Watching.
I could say watching or to watch. Gerund or infinitive with love. Remember, like, love, hate, begin, start, continue. We can use both. The next one, yesterday, simple past, past tense, but negative.
Didn't bring.
Didn't bring. Very good, very good. Didn't bring his books to class yesterday. All right. The next one, the class, next week.
Will the class be canceled?
Will the class be canceled? Excellent. All right. The next one, the doctor, for Mr. Adams' medical record right now. Right now, that sounds like present continuous to me, right?
Yes.
So what could we say?
Is looking.
Is looking, right? Present continuous. The next one says, Mr. Stevens is too old. Too old.
To live.
To live, right? With T-O-O, we always want to use infinitive, right? I'm too tired to drive. I'm too hungry to concentrate. Whatever. The next one, not yet. That sounds like good old present perfect, right? So what can we say? I
haven't seen.
I haven't seen that program yet. The next one says never. What can we say for never?
Has never had.
Has never had, exactly.
He's never had.
Has never had lunch with his boss. Now the next one, look at the subject. The subject is the snacks. So do we want an active or a passive here?
Passive.
Passive, right. Will be brought. Future, passive. All right, we're doing great here. The next one says next month is a future, but a negative. A future negative. So what can we say for that one?
Won't make.
Won't make, right? Mr. Brown won't make very much money next month. Or we could also say he isn't going to make. Both are fine. All right. The next one, look at the subject. The subject is the package. So again, we're going to go with passive, right? So was sent. Exactly. The next one says last night's party. Last night's party says there what?
Wasn't
enough. There wasn't enough food at last night's party. There wasn't enough. All right. The next one says presently. Presently what?
I'm not taking.
I'm not taking. Right. All right. The next one says many times before. Many times before, gonna be what?
Has visited.
Has or have?
Had.
Have, right?
Has. Perfect.
Present perfect. The Johnsons have visited Mexico many times before. Present perfect for experience, right? Have visited. Now the next one, the subject is iPhones. So, and it says at many different stores. So is or are?
Are sold.
Are sold, right?
Are sold.
iPhones are sold at many different stores. Present tense, passive. Present tense, passive. All right. Number 21 says we to the park in a long time. What can we say for that one? We
haven't driven.
Haven't driven, exactly. Haven't driven. All right. The next one, a how long question. That's good old present perfect, isn't it?
Have you studied?
Again, we could go two ways here. Studied or have you been studying. Both are fine because it's a long-term action and the question is how long. All right. Now the next one is another one of our keywords for present perfect, the word since. So what could we say there? My parents
have been.
Have been, right? My parents have been at home since early this morning. Have been. All right, the next one, we have no subject. So what are we going to do?
Winning.
Winning, right? Formal English, we could say to win. But winning is more popular, right? Gerund subject is the most popular. And the next one, finally, we have a question that says usually. Usually is going to be does, exactly. Does Jim usually stay with his mother when he's in town? Does stay. Present tense, simple. All righty. That was quick. Everybody very smart today. No problems. All right. Only 3 students. ¿Qué pasó? What happened to this class? Everybody's sleepy today, I guess.
No, it's difficult when change the code for enter in Zoom.
Oh.
Because sometimes enter in other class.
Yeah, Miss Aguirre's class. Yeah, that's the problem. We have 2 different teachers, so we have 2 different codes. And maybe I sent the code a little bit too late. All right. So here I'll give everybody another message. Okay. Let me try again. I thought I sent everybody the code, but let me see. Let me try again. All right. I have to open it up. Patience, please. Thank you. One moment.
Okay.
Just to make sure everybody got it. All right, that's the code for the other class. Don't want to send that. All right. All right. Zoom class starting now. Use this code. Oops. Okay, I think this is the right class. I hope so. Did I push the wrong code button? Let me see.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there we go. See, now I'm a student in my own class. I'm here and then I'm here too. Let's see, let me remove that. Okay. Okay. All right, so what are we going to talk about today? Well, today, hello, Jareen, good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see you.
Mr. Webb, did you see my second page or not?
Yeah, I saw the second page. I sent it back to you. Did you get it?
That's only the first one, right? I think so.
Oh, I sent the first page and then I sent the second page separately. Oh,
No, I didn't get it, but
oh, if you didn't get it, I'll make sure you get it right after class, okay? Because I did read it, but yeah, I'm sorry, my printer only printed out the first 2 pages, your outline, and then your first page. And I thought, oh, this ended very quickly. What happened? And there was a whole other page there I didn't read. I thought, well, that's kind of unusual. Jareen's a good writer. She wouldn't leave it unfinished like that, but you didn't. So,
yeah,
so I'm sorry about that. I apologize.
the first page and the bottom, you say
Yeah,
right?
that's right. I said, is this your conclusion? I don't understand. Sorry. I was a little confused because I didn't see the second page. Yeah, for some reason, the printer only printed your outline and the first page. But so that's my mistake. Sorry about that.
Okay.
All right. So now with Miss Aguirre yesterday, I think you started to talk about cause and effect, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about cause and effect too in a little bit of a way, but we're talking not about external things. We're talking about one person causing another person to do an action. One person causing another person to act. This is what we call in English a causative, where one person causes the action of another person. Right? We use it all the time. We don't even think about it. But I want to go over it today so we have a clear idea, because it's a little bit tricky because sometimes we use the base form and sometimes we use the infinitive and sometimes we use the past participle and sometimes, so we have to put them all together and figure it out. Okay? Sounds good? All right. So I am going to turn off the microphones, although it's not too loud in here, but you never know when a cat starts screaming or something like that. So I'm going to turn off the microphones for a second. And then I'm going to do a little presentation for you. And then we will practice together. But first, a little presentation. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me see here. All right. Whoops. All right. Can everybody see the slide?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Okay, okay. I'm going to put the microphones back on mute. All right, here we go. All right, so commands and requests, active and passive. We're talking about one person causing the action of another person. One person causing the action of another person. So it's similar to what you're talking about with Miss Aguirre, but it's a little bit different focus here. So we're basically talking about the same thing, a cause and an effect, but talking about it with a little bit different focus in my class. Causing others to act. Sometimes in English, we want to show that one person or entity caused the action of another. So we always have two separate things. One person making the request and the other person doing the action. The most common way to do it is with this pattern. Verb plus object, a noun or a pronoun. Remember, objects can be nouns or pronouns. If it's a pronoun, of course, me, him, her, it, etc. And infinitive. Of course, infinitive is to and the verb, right? Verb, object, infinitive. Here are some examples. I told my kids to pick up their toys. Verb, told. Object, my kids. Infinitive, to pick up the toys. Jeff asked me to help him. Verb, asked. Object, me, to help. The mayor urged the people to stay inside during the crisis. Urge is the verb, people is the object, to stay is the infinitive. Verb, object, infinitive. Verb, object, infinitive. Now, there are many verbs that have this pattern, probably over 20. But let me give you some of the most popular. Advise, expect, leave, prefer. Allow, forbid, would like, remind. Ask, force, would love, request. Beg, mean, tempt, and get. Cause, help, need, and tell. Command, instruct, order, want. Compel, intend, pay, warn. Encourage, invite, permit, wish. Let me turn on the microphones for just a second. Is there any vocabulary here that you don't know?
Compel.
Compel. Compel is like force, right? So when you don't have a choice, when something is mandatory.
Oh, okay.
So for example, the teacher compelled the students to put away their notebooks or something like that. Compel means you have no choice.
Mm-hmm.
Any others?
Tempt.
Tempt? Do we know tempt?
No.
Do you know temptation?
Oh.
Do you have the word temptation in Spanish?
Yes.
Right. So for example, the little boy tempted his friend to steal the candy. Right. To tempt somebody to do something.
Mm.
Okay. Any others? But again, all of these are going to have that same pattern. Verb, object, infinitive. So for example, my teacher advised me to study hard. The teacher allowed the children to watch a video. I asked my friend to give me a ride. The little boy begged his mother to buy him an ice cream cone. Does everybody know beg?
Mm-hmm.
Beg is suplicar in Spanish, right? Cause, right? The rainy weather caused me to have an accident. Command, right? The general commanded the soldiers to move to a different area. Compel, right? The problems compelled me to close my business. Encourage, right? I encourage my students to come every day. Expect. We expect our children to be polite. Forbid. Do we know this word forbid?
Yes. Mhm.
Forbid means prohibit, right? It's the same as
Mhm.
prohibit, right? So I forbid my children to smoke, right? Force, right? The police officer forced me to get out of the car. Get, right? Now, we're going to talk more about get a little bit later, but get in this case means convince, right? For example, I got my friend to help me move the furniture, etc., etc., etc. Anyway, all of these are that same pattern. Verb, object, either a noun or a pronoun, and then an infinitive. Verb, object, noun or pronoun, and then infinitive. And again, I will send you these slides in the Remind app after the class, so you don't have to go crazy trying to copy down every one of these words. And again, the key point is to remember verb, object, infinitive. Memorizing this list really isn't necessary. But the key point is if you have one person causing the action of another person, we always use verb, object, infinitive. All right.
Mhm.
Let's look at the next slide. We can do this also in passive. And if you will remember from the Ventures Chapter 4 book, you saw this in Chapter 2, Ventures Level 4. We saw this in Chapter 2. We used it in active or in passive. So for example, the school requires students to take a placement test. That's an active form. But we could also say students are required to take a placement test. Notice we don't have the object in the regular position anymore. Where do we have the object? Is out front here, right?
Mhm.
So the school requires the students. Students are required. Mr. Jones paid some kids to clean out the garage, right? Verb, object, infinitive. But I can put the kids as my subject. The kids were paid to clean out Mr. Jones' garage. I paid the kids were paid. I told my mother was told, etc. Our teacher expects us to be on time for class. Expects us to be. Or we are expected to be on time for class. So this is very, very common, especially when we talk about rules and regulations, right? All students are required to have a book, right? All students are expected to come to class every day, right? All students are required to take a placement test, etc. So we have noun, passive verb, infinitive, but it's the same pattern. It's just the passive version of the same pattern, right? Be careful. When command is negative, we use the word not instead of don't, right? Remember, the negative infinitive is not to. So, for example, don't worry, said Mr. Summers, right? How do we change that? Mr. Summers urged me not to worry. Don't touch that hot stove, said Emily to her daughter. Emily warned her daughter not to touch the stove, right? Not don't, not to touch. Verb, object, infinitive, but this infinitive is the negative. Don't use your cell phone during the class, our teacher said. We were told not to use our cell phone during the class. Again, negative, not to, not to, not to, right? The negative infinitive. So be careful about that. Exceptions. A few exceptions, right? These 4 words are the ones that we're going to kind of concentrate on in this chapter. Make, have, help, and let. Make, have, help, and let. These 4 are special because these 4 use the base verb, not the infinitive, no 2. So let me show you some examples. Jeff's comments in class always make me think. Base verb. I had the gardener remove the tree because it was damaged. Base verb. Can you help me move this piano into the other room? Base verb. Help me move the piano. After school, Elena let her daughter go to the mall with her friends. Let. So it's a little tricky because permit, you use infinitive, right? Elena permitted her daughter to go. Allow, infinitive. Elena allowed her daughter to go. But let, base verb. He let her daughter go. Small note. Note the word help can also use an infinitive. So I could say, can you help me to move this piano? Right? That's just a regular help verb object infinitive. So now, let me go to the board for just a second because I do want to explain these a little bit more. Let me see here. Let me go to the board for a second. All right, can everybody see the board now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes? Okay. I want to talk about 4 in particular. Make that blue. I like blue better. Right, when I use the word make, it means the person has no choice, right? So when I use the word make, the other person has an obligation. So we always have some kind of authority over someone, right? So you could say, my boss made me work on Sunday, right? My boss made me work on Sunday. No choice, right? I didn't have a choice. I had to do it.
Mhm.
Or that story made me laugh, right? It was involuntary. It was an involuntary response. It made me laugh. I couldn't help it, right? So,
Mhm.
for example, or let me give you another good example. For example, chopping onions makes me cry, right? I don't have any choice. I have to cry when I chop the onions, right? So that's make. When you have no choice, you have to do it. You have no choice. Now, when we use have, have is more like to perform a service or a favor, right? So in other words, the person has a choice, but the person is doing something because I'm giving them some money. Or the person is doing something because they want to get a good grade. Or the person is doing something because they are my friend. So for example, so I had Emilio pick me up at the airport. That's a favor. I say, hey, can you do me a favor? I'm coming in to the airport at 5 o'clock on Sunday. Can you please pick me up? Oh, okay, no problem. All right. But on the other hand, I had the Uber driver drop me off at the stadium. That's a service. So when we have, if I say make, it's I am the boss. I am the teacher. I am the authority. So for example, many parents make their children take music lessons, right? The kids don't necessarily want to take music lessons, but the parents say, you're going to take piano. That's all there is to it. They make their kids take music lessons. All right. And the next thing, on the other hand, have, we don't say that. Have is more voluntary. Now, usually you do it because somebody is paying me money or I'm a nice guy. I'm doing a favor for somebody, right? So a service or a favor. Now, get right? When I use get, it's more like I had to convince them. They didn't necessarily want to do it. They didn't necessarily want to do it, right? So I could use the example with Emilio probably more with get than with have, right? Because get is usually somebody doesn't really want to do it, but I got them to do it, right? So for example, I got my brother to help me with the painting. Right? Did my brother want to help me? Not particularly. But I said, please, 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 can you help me? And he said, okay. I got him to help me. Or the students got the teacher to postpone the exam. The students got the teacher to postpone the exam. Got the teacher to postpone. Did the teacher want to postpone the exam? No, but the students convinced them, right? There's some persuasion involved. All right, and finally, let, remember, is the same as permit or allow when I use let. So right? The teacher lets us use dictionaries when we take tests. Mr. Robinson let her daughter watch the movie. So notice 3 of these have the base form, right? Base form, base form, base form, base form, base form, base, base. Get uses infinitive, right? It's not just help, it's to help. It's not just postpone, it's to postpone. All right. Do you need more time to write this down, or is it okay?
No, yeah.
It's
More,
okay.
more time? Or got it?
I
No
got it.
problem?
Yeah, we finished. Yes. Mhm.
I'll send it to you on a document.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No problem? You got it written down?
No problem, teacher.
No
I gotta
problem.
go, teacher.
Oh, you gotta go. Okay,
I
we'll
just
see you
go
later.
Thursday. Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye. Have a good day. Okay. Oops.
Okay, teacher.
All right. So let me stop that for a second. Okay. All right. So let's go back to our presentation then and talk about some other things. All right. So let me see here. Oops, I gotta push the right button or nobody can see anything. Okay, here we go. Share screen and verb object infinitive. There we go. Okay, current slide. Okay, so this is what we just had. We just looked at this slide, right? What are we using here? Base form. Think, remove, move, go. And remember the little note, help can be infinitive as well. Okay, now passive. Let's talk about this a little bit. We can also use these causatives, especially have and get in passive form. How do we do it? We use have and get. We use the past participle form with the object. So let me show you what I mean. Right? Mrs. Jones had the plumber fix the sink. Right? This is the what we just looked at. We have the verb, we have the object, and we have the base form. But I can also do it this way. Mrs. Jones had the sink fixed. Let's look at another one. Emily got the manicurist to do her nails yesterday. Emily got her nails done yesterday. See what I did? I have and get, but I'm using the object, not the person. Right? I'm using the object, not the person. Right? She got her nails done. She had the sink fixed. All right? So I want to practice this a little bit because this is a little bit new. So I'm going to, let's see, going to share something else here with you, and then we're going to practice it together. Okay, here we go. All right. Can everybody see the document that says causative passive?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So look at this little conversation. A says, are you going to change the oil by yourself? B says, no, I don't think so. I think I will have my oil changed by a professional. Have my oil changed, right? This is what we call the causative passive. Have my oil changed. Okay? So I'm going to be A, you be B, and then we'll practice together. We only have 3 students, so you're going to get lots of opportunities here. All right? So let's see. Everybody, let's do the first one together. Are you going to change the oil by yourself?
No,
No, I don't think
don't
so.
think so.
I
I think I
I
will
will
have my
have
oil
my oil
changed
changed
by a professional.
Okay, good. All right, let's look at all these different ones. All right, let's see. Number 1, Alejandra,
Yes.
are you going to paint your house by yourself?
No, I don't think so. I think I'll have to. I'll have my house
Mhm.
painted by
A
a
professional.
bank,
By a
a
professional.
professional.
By a professional, right?
Uh-huh.
So I will have my house painted by a professional. I'm not going to do it by myself. I'm going to have my house painted by a professional. All right, class, let's do it together. Are you going to repaint your house by yourself?
No.
No, I
No,
don't think so.
I don't think so.
I
I
think
think
I will
I'll
have
have
my house
my house
painted
painted
by a
by a
professional.
professional.
Good. Maria Polito,
Yes.
are you going to repair your car by yourself?
No, I don't think so. I think I will have my car repaired by a professional.
Right, and we use that ED, right? Have
Yes.
my car repaired.
Repair.
All right, so class, are you going to repair your car by yourself?
No,
No,
I don't
think
think
so.
so.
I
I
I
think
will
I'll have
my
my
car
car repaired
repaired
by a
by a
professional.
professional.
Excellent. Jareen, are you
Yes.
going to color your hair by yourself?
No, I don't think so. I think I will have my hair color
Mhm.
by a professional.
Right, and again, ED on our verb, right? I will have my hair colored by a professional. All right. Let's see. Alejandra, when you color your hair, do you do it by yourself?
No,
No, you have it colored by a professional, huh?
yes.
I know
Is
you
that
like
you?
you like a lot of different colors.
Yes.
All right. What about you, Jareen? Do you like to color your hair?
No, I have never done it.
No, you like the black, basic black, huh? All right. Maria Polito, what about you? Do you like to color your hair?
Yes.
Oh, you do.
Yes.
What is your favorite color of hair?
It's light brown.
Light brown. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
But if it like older, maybe I want to.
Oh, maybe when you
Yeah,
get
we
rid of
have
that,
the white.
get rid of those white hairs, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I should do that. I have a lot of white hair on my head too. All right. So let's see. Next one is for who?
Me.
For back to Alejandra. Alejandra, are you going to do your nails by yourself?
No, I don't think so. I think I'll have to. I'll have my nails done by a professional.
Right. That's a very popular one, right? You say have my nails done or get my nails done, right? So class, are you going to do your nails by yourself?
No,
No, I don't think so.
think so.
I will
I'll
have
have
my
my nails
nails
done by
by a
professional.
professional. Have my nails done by a professional. Good. All right, let's see. Maria,
Yes.
are you going to install your cabinets by yourself?
No, I don't think so. I think I'll have my cabinets installed by a professional.
Very good. Right. Whenever you have a service, this is what we say, right? To have something done, right? If I do it myself, I say I painted my house. right? But if I didn't paint my house, I say I had my house painted, right? When somebody does a service for you, we say I have it done. So in this case, I had cabinets put in my house about 20 years ago. Did I do it by myself? No, I'm not a carpenter. So I called up a carpenter and I had the cabinets installed, right? I had the cabinets installed by a professional, right? I called a carpenter and the carpenter did the work. Whenever somebody does a service for you, this is what we say. All right, students, let's try it together. Are you going to install your cabinets by yourself?
No.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I
I think
I
I'll
will
have
my
my
cabinets
cabinets installed
installed
by
a
a
professional.
professional.
All right, Jareen.
Yes.
The next one, number 6, uses the word alter. Does everybody know that word alter?
No.
When you talk about a dress,
Like
so
put
Is it say the
you
tailor?
change the size a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes you buy a dress and it's a little bit too big or it's a little bit too small, right? Or sometimes you buy pants and the pants are too long or too short, right? Altering is when you go to a tailor and they change the garment a little bit. They don't make the whole new dress, but you have a dress here, but you say, oh, I lost 20 pounds and this dress is too baggy. I need it to be a little smaller,
No.
like
right?
that's how it or what? Like
Hmm?
the same side as it.
Right. When you take it to a dress shop and you say, please make this smaller, they say, no problem, I can do that for you. Or they say, oh, please let this out a little bit. It's a little bit too tight. Okay, no problem, I can do that. Right. That's what we call altering clothes. Alter just means change.
Mm-hmm.
Alter means change. So you have a dress, but you want to change the size a little bit. That's called altering. Maybe maybe the dress is too long and you want a little bit shorter. That's called altering.
So we can use with only clothes, dress, or something like that. Or
No,
we can,
you could do anything that is changed. We can say alter. So, for example, you say he altered the contract. He changed the contract. Yeah, but we use it especially with clothes. Yeah, we call them alterations, right?
Mhm.
So you say, oh, do you do alterations at your shop? Yes, I do. I do plenty of alterations. What do you need? Right? Oh, I need my pants to be a little bit shorter. Okay, no problem. I can sew the hem for you. That's called alterations. All right. Anyway, let's practice. Jareen, are you going to alter your dress by yourself?
No, I don't think so. I think I will have my dress altered, altered
By a professional, right?
by a professional.
Good. Class, are you going to alter your dress by yourself?
No,
No, I don't
think
think
so.
No,
so.
I don't think
I
so.
think
I will
I'll
have my dress
my dress altered
altered
by
by
a
a
professional.
professional. I'll have my dress altered by a professional. Very good. All right. Number 8, build the bookcase. Let's see.
No, number
Alejandra,
7.
I guess we're back to you. Oh, sharpen the knives. Sorry. Number 7, Alejandra, sharpen your
Yes.
knives. Are you going to, everyone know sharpen?
Yes.
Yeah, understand sharpen? Good. Are you going to sharpen your knives by yourself?
No, I don't think so. I think I'll have my knees sharpened by a professional.
I'll have my knives sharpened by a professional. Yeah, some stores have knife sharpening services, right?
Mhm.
They sharpen your knives. All right, so class, are you going to sharpen your knives by yourself?
No,
No, I don't think
don't
so.
think so. I
I think I will have
my
my knives
knife
sharpened
sharpened by
by
a
a
professional.
Professional.
I'll have my knife sharpened by a professional. Very good. All right, let's see. Maria Polito,
Mhm.
are you going to build the bookcase by yourself?
I don't think so. I think I'll have the bookcase built by a professional.
I'll have the bookcase built by a professional, right? I'm not a very good carpenter, so I will call a carpenter and I will have him do it. I will have it done professionally. All right, so class, are you going to build the bookcase by yourself?
No,
No,
No, I don't think so.
I
I
think
think I will
I'll
have
have
the
the bookcase built
built
by a
built
by a
professional.
professional.
by a professional.
Good. Jerry, are you going to make the sushi by yourself?
No, I don't think so. I think I'll have the sushi made by a professional.
Yeah, but we want our past participle, right? Have the sushi made, right? Past part made, right? So class, are you going to make the sushi by yourself?
No,
No, I
I don't
don't think
think
so.
so.
I
I
think
think I'll have
Have
the sushi made by a professional.
by
I'll have the
professional.
sushi made by the professional. Good. Let's see. And Alejandro, last one. Are you going to cut your hair by yourself?
No, I don't think so. I think I'll have my hair cut by a professional.
Yeah. I cut my own hair. I had no choice. I had no choice. My hair was looking terrible.
It's
I
easy
said,
for you.
I can't take it. Easy for me, right? I don't have to worry too much about the style.
Yeah.
But it took a couple tries to get it right. So
Yeah,
So-
you won Spain a lot of money.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's good for you.
But I have to wait for the next. But right now, there's no. You can't get a haircut, right?
Yeah.
All the stores are closed, right?
Yeah.
The,
Yes.
the
No,
salons.
for me, yes.
Oh, you have a secret.
Yes. Yeah, with my friend in
Oh, okay, all right.
her house.
Okay. Aha. Good plan. You have a secret salon, huh?
Yes.
Very good. Very good. You're gonna look your best during the quarantine. All right. That sounds good to me. All right. So what did we do every time? We use the word have. I could also say get, but have or get is either one is fine. And then I put the thing, and then I put the past participle, right? So the pattern was always, let me show it again. Let's see, where do I need to share here? New share, board, right? So the pattern in this case is get or have, either one is fine, plus thing plus past participle. That's the pattern, right? I got my teeth cleaned. I had my my nails done, right? Get or have plus thing plus past participle. We use this for services.
Mr. Webb,
Yes.
I always think we can use passive with thing, like the table was made by.
Right. This is a new kind of passive. Yeah, but because usually you could say my teeth were cleaned by the dental hygienist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're right. This is a normal passive, right? You could say this: my teeth were cleaned by the dental hygienist. I don't know how to spell hygienist. All right, maybe like that. I don't know. That's not quite right. Hygienist. Boy, that's a hard one. How do you spell hygienist? Hygienist.
Y-E-S-T-N-I-E-S-T-S.
I-E-S-T. Or maybe. I don't know. That's not right either, but you get the idea. Yeah,
Clean.
yeah, by the dental assistant, I say.
Yes.
There we go. I don't know how to spell hygienist. I'm sorry. All right, that's too hard for me at this time of the morning. All right, my teeth were cleaned by the dental hygienist, right? Here, the subject is the teeth, right?
Mhm.
But if you say, I got my teeth cleaned, the focus is more on I paid for this service, right? So usually, especially for like personal services, like getting, so we almost always say, I need to get my hair cut, right? I'm going to get my hair cut next week. I'm going to have my nails done. I'm going to have my house painted, right? For these personal services, I am paying for it, but I am not doing it. That's the key trick here. I am paying for it, so I'm the subject, but I'm not doing it. Somebody else is doing it. And again, I don't need to say by the dental hygienist, because of course, who else is going to clean my teeth, right? So you say, oh boy, it's been 6 months since I had my teeth cleaned, right? So when I have I as the subject or another person as a subject, then we use this passive causative, usually for personal services. But you're right, you can use just a regular passive, right? This one is just passive, right? And then this one is passive causative. Yeah, this one is new for our level. We haven't talked about this in class before. This is new. Too bad there are only 3 people here, but but I guess that's their problem, right? That's their problem, right? Yeah, this is a new idea, right? It's called a passive causative. Okay, and I'll send you after class a little internet practice. You can work on this a little bit more. But it's always get or have. Those are the only 2 words we use with this, get and have. The thing, and then the past participle. So there's no be verb. There's no be verb anymore. The be verb disappears.
Okay. When is most common use this structure? When tell or when you write?
Probably more spoken than writing. But it's not rare for writing either. When one person pays for something, this is what we use, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Because
So I say, oh look, this tree is sick. Yeah, I'm going to have it removed. I'm going to have it removed, right? I'm not going to do it myself. I'm going to call the gardener, and the gardener is going to cut down the tree, right?
I hear a lot like passive. Always when like people talk, like my husband, always he will say like a passive cause, right? Like I got my teeth clean, but not many times they say like my teeth were clean by.
Yeah, exactly. It's more common to use this one. Yeah, this one is more common than just this kind of passive. When we're talking about personal services, right? When we're talking about services, it's more common to use the passive causative than the passive. Now, I could say, yeah, my house was painted last year, but often we say, I got my house painted last year, right? It gives yourself a little more, even though I didn't do it myself, I had it done, right? So, because if I say, this house was painted 5 years ago, it's not clear. Was I the one who paid for it, or did somebody else pay for it, right? But if I say I had my house painted 5 years ago, it was me who ordered the service, right? So it's clear that I ordered the service. Okay.
Okay.
All
Can you
right.
give example about passive and passive causative?
Another example?
Yeah.
Okay. So for example, my addition was built in 1976, right? My addition was built in 1976, right? I didn't pay for it. I didn't do it, right?
Mhm.
The other owner, the previous owner, put an addition on the house, right? Everybody knows what I mean by addition, right?
Yes.
When you make your house a little bigger, right?
Mhm.
They call that an addition. So my addition was built in 1976, not by me. I didn't build it. I didn't pay for it. But on the other hand, I had my kitchen remodeled when I moved into my house. See the difference?
Mhm.
In the first case, I had nothing to do with it. Right? I didn't order it, I didn't do it. But in the second case, I actually said, hey, I'm going to call up the company, the construction company, and I'm going to have them remodel my kitchen. So when you are an active part of the thing being done, right? When you are an active part of the service, right? My addition was built in 1976. I didn't have anything to do with it. But I had my kitchen remodeled when I moved into the house. I ordered the service. That's the difference. If you use passive, you don't know who ordered the service. So if I say this kitchen was remodeled 10 years ago, did I do it? Did somebody else do it? I don't know. But if I say I had the kitchen remodeled, then you know that I ordered the service. It's a little more clear. You see what I mean?
Yes.
It's a little more clear.
Can be like if add like the main same thing with remodel, right?
Yeah.
So under first and passive, we can do my remodel was built in 1976.
Well, my kitchen was remodeled. Yeah.
My kitchen remodel. Okay.
Yeah.
Teacher,
So
the first sentences is passive causative.
that's passive construction, right? That's simple past passive.
Mhm.
And the second sentence is a passive causative,
It's a passive causative.
right? Whenever you have a person, have,
Mhm.
thing, right? I had my teeth cleaned. I got my car washed, right? If I say my car was washed, maybe I did it, maybe somebody else did it, right? But if I say I got my car washed, I didn't do it. I paid somebody and they did it. Whenever you use this, it's like I ordered the service, but I didn't do it myself. Remember that the practice we were doing today. Are you going to do it by yourself? No, I don't think so. I think I will have it done professionally. I'll have it done by a professional, right? You know, I'm not going to fix my car by myself. I don't know enough about cars. I'm going to have it fixed professionally, right? I will pay somebody to do it. That's why we use passive causative. When we pay somebody to do a service for us, right? Because in these days, not everybody can fix a car or can do their own yard work or can cut their hair or can color their hair, right? You go to services for things, right? So whenever you have a service performed, yeah. So and sometimes, so for example, um, he got his he got his let's see, he got his cast removed after 6 weeks, right? He got his cast removed after 6 weeks, right? Everyone knows what it means, cast? You know what I mean by cast?
No.
When you have a broken arm,
Oh,
they put something on your arm, right? That's called
okay,
a
yes, yes.
cast, right? Right? But can you take it off by yourself?
No.
No, you have to go
No.
to the doctor, right?
mhm.
You got to go to the doctor's office and they will take it off, right? So he got his cast removed after 6 weeks. He got his cast removed. Somebody did the service for him. Somebody did the service for him. Okay?
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
say like pro causative, like make, have, get, and let, right?
Right. Right. So for example, on her wedding day, she had her makeup done by a professional stylist. Right? On her wedding day, she had her makeup done by a professional stylist. She had her makeup done. Right? She didn't do it by herself. It was a special day. So she paid somebody $100 and they did the makeup. Right? She had her makeup done by a professional stylist. Okay?
Okay.
So this is especially for personal services. Personal services. A carpenter, a plumber, a painter, a beautician, a tailor. Right? Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to give you a practice as soon as the class is over that you can practice on the internet with this exact same idea. Okay.
Okay.
I have it. Well, let me get you started on it at least before we leave this topic. Let me show you if I can find it. Let me see here.
Do you
Okay.
have case on Schoology?
There's some practice on Schoology you can do, but here's one example. Do you see it?
Oh, yeah.
This is
Causative.
causatives.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to show you the first couple, and you'll see what I mean, right?
Okay.
I washed my car means I did it myself, right? But if somebody else did it for me, what do we say? I had
have
my
my
car
car washed by professional.
washed by a professional, yeah, right? I had my car washed. See what I did?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This one means I did it. This one means I took it to the car wash, right? I cut my hair. That's what I did, right? I cut my hair by myself. But Alejandra knows a special secret hairstylist, right?
Yes.
So what does she say? She says, I got my
hair cut.
Right. So Mr. Webb says, I cut my hair because I did it. Alejandra says, I got my hair cut because somebody else did it. Right? Whenever you have this style, it means somebody did this service for me. All right?
Okay.
So let's do one more. I typed the documents. All right? I typed the documents means I did it with my own fingers, right? But maybe I was very busy that day. And I just gave it to the secretary. So what did I do? I had
the documents typed.
Documents typed. I caused the action to happen, but I didn't do the action. I caused the action to happen, but I didn't do it myself. That's the trick, right? So it's things that we already know, but it's using them in just a little bit different way. Okay, so I'm going to send you the link to this one as soon as the class is over. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, let me send it right now, so I don't forget. Let's see, remind app, and here we go.
Thank you.
Give you special service. Okay, so there's the link. You will have it in your remind app right now. Well, not quite now.
Yes, I received.
Wait for the button.
Yes, I received.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
there you go.
Got
So
it.
you can practice that after class, okay?
Okay.
All right,
Okay,
now.
thank you.
Sure. Now, I do want to do a little practice from the book. Okay?
Okay.
And then we're going to go back. We're going to go back and talk about subjunctive after next time. But first,
Okay.
okay, let me see here. Let me open up our Ventures Transition book and look at the grammar lesson in chapter 10.
Chapter 10.
If you have Ventures Transitions, you can open it up to chapter 10. And I will open it here. Okay, here we go. Opening slowly. All right. All right, can everybody see it on the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Let me open this up a little bit. Right? This they're showing you here not the passive form, but the active form. Right? Ms. Ovid made her son mow the lawn and walk the dog. This is page 94.
94.
94 in your book, Causative Verbs.
Okay.
All right. So notice, made the son mow. Now, make we don't usually use. We don't use make in a passive, but we do use it for the active form, right? Remember, make means no choice, requirement, right? Obligation. So here's a typical case, right? Mrs. Ovid is the mother, and the son has to do what she says, right? She made the son mow the lawn and walk the dog, right? Make plus base form. Does everybody know that word mow? Everybody see that word mow? She made her son mow the lawn. Mow the lawn means cut the grass.
Oh, okay.
Mow the lawn.
Yeah, mow the lawn means cut the grass. Yeah, the machine that we use, the machine we use to cut the grass is called a lawn mower.
Mower.
Lawn mower, yeah. So it's M-O-W, but it's pronounced mow. Mow, right? Mrs. Ovid made her son mow the lawn and walk the dog. Right? He was required. He had no choice. You see the note over here. He was required. He had no choice. The next one says, Mrs. Ovid had a handyman fix the broken window. Now remember what I say about had. Had is a service or a favor. A service or a favor, right? Usually a service. Usually I'm paying somebody, right? Example, Mrs. Ovid asked or paid the handyman to do the service, right? Usually paid, but could be asked to. Now, on the other hand, Mrs. Ovid got her neighbor to walk the dog. That's a little bit different. When I say got, that means I said, please, 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 can you do this for me? Right? In the active form. All right? So let's take a second and watch the video together and then we'll do the practice, okay? Notice base form, infinitive. Make, base form. Have, base form. Get, infinitive. So we're not, so what if you, let's talk about the passive while we're at it. In this case, what could I say? Mrs. Ovid had the broken window fixed, right? Mrs. Ovid had the broken window fixed. All right. So let's watch the video. I'm gonna play the video without the sound, and we're just gonna talk about it, okay? Can everybody see the video?
Yes.
Not yet, because it's not playing it. Here it comes. Everybody see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Causative verbs.
All right, so the causative verbs we're talking about are make, have, and get. Remember, I added the word let as a causative too, because let is also with base form, right? The book doesn't have let, but I always include it because it's also base form. Make, have, let, and help. Notice what it says. The causative make means that one person requires the other person to do something. No choice, right? No choice. Made her son mow the lawn and walk the dog. No choice. He was required. When you use make, it's I have no choice. Make plus object plus base verb. The second verb does not change in tense and number. So no S's, no INGs, no EDs, no past tense. Never change that second verb. Jane's parents made her apologize to the teacher for cheating on the test, right? She had no choice. She had to do it. When you have to do it, you made me do it. The librarian made the students stop talking. Please be quiet, right? She made the students stop talking. The librarian was in charge. The guard made me put my backpack in a locker before entering the museum. That was the rule, right? I was required to put the backpack in the locker, right? The guard made me put it in. The police made him move his car. Get your car out of here, right? They made him do it. All right, let's practice. All right, look at the picture and read the meaning, then complete the sentence with the causative. We're going to use make in these first ones. What are we going to use? Base verb. Base verb with make. Okay, everybody ready? All right.
Yes.
It says the librarian required the students to stop talking. So what do we say? The librarian
The librarian
made the students.
Made the student required.
But remember, we just want to use the word, the verb, the action. So made the students.
Made the student required.
No, we don't want to use require because make, that's what make means, is required. So the librarian made the students
Stop
talking. There we go. The librarian made the students stop talking. Right? The librarian made the students stop talking. All right, see what we have here? Made, object, base verb. Made the students stop. Right? The librarian is in charge of the library. So she has authority over the students. She says, be quiet or you're out. Right? She made the students stop talking. Right? All right, how about this one? The guard required me to put my backpack in the locker before entering the museum. Okay, so what did the guard make me do?
The word
Guard made
me packet locker.
Made me put, right? Made me put my backpack in a locker. Made me put. Made me put. Base form, object, infinite, and base form again, right? Made me put. Simple past, object, and base form. All right, let's try another one. The police required him to move his car. So what do we say? The police
The police
Made him
made
move
made
his
him
car.
move the car, right? They made him move the car. They made him move the car. There we go. The police made him move the car. All right, now let's look at have. Remember, have is usually when I pay somebody or I ask for a favor. I ask or I pay somebody to do something. Again, usually with a service. Mrs. Ovid had the handyman fix the broken window. Mrs. Ovid paid somebody or asked the handyman to do the work, right? Have plus object plus verb, right? We use this for the services. If I have a service, I usually use have or get in the passive. All right, so Zoe had a friend translate the letter, right? It's a favor in this case, right? It's a favor. Carla had a technician fix the computer. Again, it's a service. The teacher had the students use pencils at the test. It's the teacher asked for that to happen. All right, let's try these. Look at the picture and discuss the meaning. Okay, let's see if we can make some sentences this time with have. Okay, Carla paid the technician. What can we say? Carla
had the technician fixes her
fixed the computer, right? Had the technician fix, right? Had the technician fix. The teacher asked the students to use pencils, or
the
teacher
had
the students
use
pencils.
pencil.
Had the students use pencils. Good. All right, and now get. Remember, get is a little more convincing. It's like a big favor, right? A big favor. Mrs. Ovid got her neighbor to walk the dogs. A big favor. Mrs. Ovid persuaded her neighbor to walk the dog. Get plus object. Now, get is one that's a little bit different because we need infinitive with get. The teacher, Tina got the teacher to give her an extra week. She said, please, 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 can I have one more week? And the teacher said, okay. All right, Simon got his older brother to help him. His older brother didn't really want to help, but he said, okay, I'll do it. Yeah, usually when we use get, the person doesn't really want to do the thing, but they say okay, like a favor. Penny convinced her old boss to write a letter for her. Convinced the old boss to write a letter. All right, let's try these. We're going to use get, object, infinitive. Get, object, infinitive. So what can we say here? Simon
got
his older brother to help.
Got his older brother to help.
Okay, how about this one? Penny convinced her boss to write a letter. So what can we say? Penny
had old boss write a letter.
To write the letter. Got her old boss to write the letter.
Right.
Infinitive with get, right? Get is the only one we're talking about today that uses infinitive.
Mhm.
The others are base form, right? Or past participle. Okay, and this is exactly what we just saw in the paper. So I'm going to turn this off. We've already talked about this. If I can stop it, let me stop it here. There we go. It's gone. Okay, good. No problem. All right, so let's look and see if we can make some sentences here. At the bottom of the page, the practice. We'll do this practice and then we'll be done for today.
Okay.
Okay, so notice what do we have here? We have the basic form where we have verb, object, infinitive. Verb, object, infinitive. Verb, object, infinitive. But we're going to use them instead with make, have, or get, depending on the situation. So the first one, she asked her daughter to answer the phone. That's have, right? You could say get for that one, but have is probably better, right? Have is like in the middle, right? Make is when you have power. Get is when you don't have any power. And have is in the middle, a favor or a request. A favor or a request from a service provider. All right, so number 2 says the boss required everyone to come in early. Which one makes sense? Make, have, or get?
Made.
Made.
Make, because he's the boss, right?
Mhm.
So
The boss
The boss
the boss
made
made
everyone
make
come in
come
early,
in
right?
early.
Right? The boss made everyone come in early. Can everybody see the answer over here?
Yes. Mhm.
Good. So the boss made everyone come in early. Now the next one, Corina paid a manicurist to give her a manicure. I'm paying her. It's a service, right? So
Uh-huh.
which one is better, make, have, or get?
Had.
Have, right? For services, it's best have. So what can we say? Corina
have
had
a
manicurist
manicurist
give
her
give
a
her
manicure.
manicure.
Had a manicurist give her a manicure, right? Had a manicurist give her a manicure. All right. All right. Jay persuaded a classmate to proofread his history paper. Does everybody know this word proofread?
So
Proofread? Do you know that word? That means when you read something looking for mistakes. That's called proofreading. All
Like
right. Like double checking, right? Like the paper is finished, but I want you to read it carefully to see if I forgot a comma or a period or I have a spelling something wrong or something like that. Okay, so he persuaded. Should we use make, have, or get for this one?
get.
Get, right? Because it's like a big favor, right? AJ is not paying any money. He's just getting the friend to do it as a favor. So AJ got a classmate to proofread the paper.
proofread the paper.
Very good. Got him to do it. Oops. Okay. The next one. The children required all the parents to sign the consent form before the children's, I don't know what is that, children's field trip? Field trip, yes. So what could we say for this one?
Made.
The school made all the parents
Made the parents
consent
sign the form, right? They made the parents sign the form.
sign the form. Okay.
Right? The school made the parents sign the consent form. Right? It was required, made. All right? Katerina persuaded all her friends to read her blog. Got her friends to read, right? Got her friends to read. Very good. the school paid a gardener to plant flowers in front of the building.
Had.
Had, right. So the school
School
Had.
had the gardener
Gardener.
plant
to
the
plant
flowers.
flowers.
Had the gardener plant the flowers, right? Had the gardener plant the flowers. Okay. And the city asked a famous artist to paint a mural on the new bridge.
It's
Which one would you use there?
Had.
had.
Probably had, right? Because
Had.
probably the famous artist is not going to do it for free, right? If he's doing it for free, you might say get.
Get.
But if he's not doing it for, if they're paying him, I would say have.
But in this case, how
do I know?
which
I don't know. Let's see what the book says. I would say probably had.
Okay.
Let's see what it says here. The school had the gardener, okay. And the last one here, had, yes. The city had a famous artist paint the mural. Yeah, get would imply that he's doing it for free. So remember, let me just close this down for a second. So remember, we use make when I have power, right? Who makes me? My boss makes me, maybe my mother makes me, the teacher makes me, right? The police officer makes me, the judge makes me, somebody who has power over me, right?
I don't have a choice, teacher.
You don't have a choice, exactly. So for example, the mayor made all the businesses close, right? They had no choice, they had to close, right? The governor made all the businesses close. The mayor made everybody wear a mask, right? Rules, regulations, make. On the other hand, have is either a service or a favor.
A favor.
Right? A service or a favor. And get definitely is a favor, a big favor.
A big favor.
Right? Somebody usually doesn't want to do it. So I say, hey, can you help me move tomorrow? I don't want to help you move. Please, I'll buy you a hamburger. Oh, okay, I'll help you. Right? That's get. When the person is not that willing to do it, but they do it because you are such a nice friend. Right? They say, oh, okay, I'll do it. Right? So have is like somebody is just doing you a little favor, right? So for example, I had my sister alter the clothes for me, right? It was a favor, but it wasn't like a big favor, right? But get is like, oh my, I don't really want to do this, but I'll do it because I'm a nice person. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Are we done? More or less.
Yes.
Okay. So try that practice that I just sent you. Okay.
Okay.
Try that practice that I just sent you. And remember, in that one, what are we using? Have or get plus a thing plus a past participle. So we're not using base or infinitive. We're using past participle, right? So I say, I had the gardener cut down the tree, right? I had the gardener cut down the tree, but I had the tree cut down. Well, cut is not a good example because it's the same. It's the same. But let's see. I had the janitor take away the trash. Right? I had the trash taken away. Okay, past participles. Okay, so try that at home, and then we'll talk more about this, and we'll look more at the book on Thursday. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Done.
Thank you, Mr. Webb.
Thank you.
Mr. Webb,
Thank you.
Yes.
The next Thursday, I came to take the class because finally I have an appointment with my doctor.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is this week or next week?
This week.
This week. Okay, so
Yes.
I'm not going to see you on Thursday.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll send you information about the class and you
Yes,
can catch
please.
up. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, teacher.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank